When are we going to see Paul Butler back on the sort of world stage, in an eliminator or even a shot at the world title?
Yeah, well, listen, 2017, I think, listen, 2 good fights here now. Another fight, if it can be spared, another fight for an eliminator of some sorts. I know Frank, I believe, has put an offer in to fight Jamie McDonnell for the world title. That's a fight I'd love to have, him or Lee Haskins. We don't really want to be going the other side of the world and fighting southpaws and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? We've got 2 world champions here on these shows, and let's get a Haskins fight, let's get a Jamie McDonnell fight. I know Jamie McDonnell now had a controversial fight last time out. I know Rashid Warren is adamant that he's next. Solis, I think he fought last time, has put a petition in to fight. So he's a wanted man, Jamie McDonnell, and also Paul Butler wants to fight. If we can get a pardon from the WBA and get the fight, I think that'd be a huge fight in Liverpool at the Echo Arena. Paul Butler versus Jamie McDonnell. Obviously he's with a competent coach in Dave Caldwell. You've got the Frank Warren and the Eddie Hearn situation, the grudge match. There'll be plenty of talk before it, and I think the time the bell rings, it'll be a great fight, and I think that Echo Arena will be packed out in a battle of the little men.
As you say, a lot of activity outside the ring in order to make that fight, but how would you see it inside the ropes?
Listen, Jamie McDonnell's a good fighter. He's a big scalp to scalp in that division. He's travelled, he's had good wins, and I'm not going to disrespect Jamie McDonnell. He's a very good world champion, very competent, got a good skill set about him. But so is Paul Butler, and you've seen that when he stepped up the one time to fight Stewie Hall. But I feel now, with the confidence and him knowing his true weight now and developing and growing into that weight, age 27, 28, the time the McDonnell fight comes round, I'd be 100% confident on Paul Butler pulling off a huge win, and that's what would be a huge win. Jamie McDonnell is a big name in the bantamweight division. I think that'd be a huge scalp for Paul Butler, and it'd announce himself back on the world stage.
You mentioned also Lee Haskins. He's got a fight on New Year's Eve in Japan, so we don't know whether he's going to obviously have a successful defence, but might that be an easier route for Paul?
Well, listen, when you're fighting world champions, there's no such thing as an easier world champion. All world champions are there in merit and credit, and that they've had to come through hardships to get there to become a world champion. So I wouldn't say Lee Haskins is an easier option. It's just that I think the fights are easier to be made in this country because of dealing with either Chris Saniga or you're dealing with Eddie Hearn for Jamie McDonnell. But I think that's a great fight as well. If Lee Haskins beats Stewie Hall, Paul Butler's beat Stewie Hall, he's got his belt that he's never lost in the ring, so you've got a story and underlying currents there as well. So either or, but I think they are the 2 kids that Paul Butler's got his heart set on, and I'm sure Frank would go out of his way to really try and deliver them fights for Paul Butler.
First things first, needs a performance in Scotland, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. We can't overlook and get too much carried away in world titles. He's got a big fight this Saturday, a tricky fight. For everyone to sit there and read it and go, oh, Paul Butler, then I'd suggest you go away and watch this kid and see the different skill set he has, the problems that he's got to cause Paul Butler, and it's not an easy fight, and we'll learn an awful lot more about the development of Paul Butler after Saturday night.
What would success look like for you beyond the win, obviously, but are you looking for a specific, you'd like to stop him or make a big impact?
I don't want to stop him. I'm not thinking Paul Butler can go in there and stop him. That's out of the question. We're going in there, I want to box well. I don't want to get caught in shots where this kid can walk you onto. He's got to be switched on all the time. He comes with a good variety of shots, counters well with either hand, and we just can't get caught. And Paul's very, let's go, let's have it, and sometimes just putting that cloth over him but not dampening him too much, do you understand? Having that fire in the belly, but like they used to say, controlling that flame, and that's what I need to do, Paul Butler, control it and being able to throw shots in combinations, hit spaces and not get caught, getting in and out, and being quite savvy in there and using his boxing brain, which he has got.
It'd be a nice finish to 2016 to win that fight, but 2017 could be a big year. Are you anticipating another world champion from Gallagher's?
Yeah, definitely with Paul Butler. He's one of many out of the gym next year. Obviously with the gym next year, the likes of Liam Smith, he's itching knuckles, he's on the phone, he's wanting to get out, he wants to fight again. He's disappointed with the way that he performed against Canelo, and he wants to go in there and put things right. He's been called out. He's a man on a mission. Anthony Crowler's got to fight on the world stage again, and there's lots of the kids that have suffered world title defeats this year, that they're itching to get back. There's a hunger, the desire to get in there, and that's a good sign. They're not happy to rest on the laurels and the plaudits and the money that they've got. They're hungry to get in there and make amends right, and Paul Butler is one of them that wants to put things right and get a world title, and I'm sure Frank will deliver, and when he gets the opportunity, Paul Butler will become world champion again.